Hello, friends. We have another hotfix coming in, the fifth one for update 43, Jade Shadows Constellations, and we're going to be going over it right now. So, biggest thing to note right here, the Mark IV Railjack upgrades were added to Steel Path, so that'll be another thing to grind for if you enjoy Railjack missions. They're about 50% more powerful than the Mark III versions, and come in every house except Sigma, as it is research exclusive. Another big thing to note is that Ryoku and Venus Railjack and Uranus Proxima will also use the Mark IV, so they will be getting a massive upgrade to their firepower. So that way, you don't got to worry too much about shooting things while on their ship and doing their missions. The shield recharge delay reduction on the arrays has also been increased by about double. The Mark II Levon was increased from 0.2 to 1 second, and it was, again, about ×2 buff rate here. Levon Mark III from 0.3 to 3 seconds, it was 0.1 and 1 second before. Vidar 0.5 to 1.5 was 0.5 to 1 second before, and the Vidar Mark III was 0.7 to 3.5 seconds, which previously was 0.5 to 2 seconds. There is a known UI issue with the Railjack shield recharge delay being incorrect in a dry dock. Keep that in mind. It is a UI bug only. Now for another change. Holding Nidus Parasitic Link will now auto-link to nearest valid ally in range, which is very, very nice. There was also a bug that was fixed that Nidus could link to his Sentinel. Now he can only link to allies or free moving companions. Ballistica Prime's lens flare intensity is dialed down, so now you're not getting blinded by the light when they perish. Add community customizations for Garuda, Sevgoth, and Limbo from Primetime 481, and improve the detection of corrupt shader caches. Big change right here, big buffs. Sirius and Orion. So Sirius's Jade stars for heat chance went up from 30% to 100%, and significantly increased the speed at which Jade stars launch and regenerate. Very, very nice. You could also see the before and after by clicking this video. We're not going to do that right now, but I will leave that in the description below. Increase the radius of Orion's event horizon from 6 meters to 8 meters. And the funny thing about this is Pablo made this post right here because Mexico won all 3 of its matches in the World Cup. Pablo's just like, hey, to celebrate this, we're increasing the range. Reb chimed in. It was just like, hey, yeah, he's actually being serious, which is pretty funny. Fixed Jade stars not triggering Arcane Hotshot. That's also a nice change. Fixed Orion's Gravitic Slash not reducing shields and armor on enemies with Overguard. Fixed Sirius and Orion instantly dying if the inactive sun fell out of the map. Fixed Celestial Crash becoming very slow after going through Sanctuary Onslaught portals. Fixed being unable to revive in the index if you died as a secondary sun. Fixed Secondary Enervate applying to the inactive sun's weapon, but not resetting when triggered. Now Secondary Enervate does not apply to the inactive sun. Unfortunate. Could have been fun to play around a little bit. Fixed cases of players being unable to swap the name of their primary sun. Fixed only the active sun receiving the uplift buff in Ascension missions. Seems Jade is definitely playing favorites to only the active sun right then and there for those missions. Fixed streaming tunnel doors not closing after returning from an open landscape to hub as Sirius and Orion. I imagine that this means like the Cetus doors when you go to Plains of Eidolon, something like that. I could be wrong. Fixed Sirius and Orion being counted as 2 entities when waiting to descend to Inferium 1 at the start of the Descendia. Fix the inactive sun not spawning during a gameplay segment in New War. More fixes towards the inactive sun appearing in cinematics. Fix a script error related to Celestial Crash, which I imagine also was the issue with Sanctuary Onslaught from the previous fix. And fix a script error that can occur when Orion's Astral Shell made a decoy holding a cooling canister. So top fixes here. Face off squad versus squad missions failing to start when the extra cheese bonus was active. This is the PvEVP mode on the Halvania map. Fix multi-shot affecting the number of ghosts spawned by kills from Ballistica Prime's incarnate form, resulting in one enemy being able to spawn multiple ghosts. This was a big one, as you can sometimes trap yourself if you killed too many enemies that were grouped together, and you would not be able to progress through the doorway. This happened to me quite a few times, especially in solo missions where enemy density is very, very high. Having 10 enemies at a door and then spawning 40 ghosts, all with collision. Yeah, that was a time. Glad that's fixed. Fixed Hunhouse Trinket not having the 0.5 ribbon disposition that all new weapons have. Fixed chat-linked rifle ribbon mods not showing its specific weapon name, displaying as compatible for all rifles. And for the remainder of the fixes, we have fixed explosion kills from the Stug and Vectus's incarnate forms, not counting towards the kill 100 enemies challenge. Fixed a certain spoiler character's level and health HUD appearing in the Jade Shadows Constellations quest. Wonder who that is. Fixed the swing trail on Hunhouse Trinket not matching the weapon it was based on. Also fixed the weapon not having a default secondary energy tint. I wonder what weapon that is. Fixed the decision in Jade Shadows not affecting an early cinematic in the Jade Shadows Constellation quest. Fixed the Thalius missing a swing trail when in its incarnate form. Fixed a rare progression stop in the Kuba Witch mission. Fixed intrinsics appearing as a white box in the Uranus Proxima end mission results. Fixed a rare crash that can occur when playing in DX12. Fixed a script error caused by Incarnate Evolution's UI. Fixed various script errors related to the Kim system. Fixed the crash related to excavation objectives in the Descendia. And finally, fix a script error when exiting out of a color palette when customizing tints. So that is the entirety of hotfix number 5 for Jade Shadows Constellations, and I shall see you on the next one. Peace.